Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're all set to continue our background campaign of Hero Realms, as it's been a little while since we've jumped into this. This one is a very simple deck builder. If you played Star Realms, this is basically just a fantasy version of that. The solo mode here comes in the form of a campaign. With that, last time we picked up, we had managed to survive a bar fight. So, let's jump into our next encounter, the chase. As you burst through the front door of the inn, you see some of the mysterious cloaked figures dragging a young man through the street. The man struggles, but a stiff blow to the head ends his resistance. You suspect the magically induced bar fight was just a diversion to cover the abduction of this patron. You start to give chase, but at the first intersection, the cloaked figures split up and flee down different streets. The first group is led by a human male. The second group seems to be following a large imp. You can't see which group has the young man. If you want to follow the humans group, go to chapter 4. To follow the imps group, go to chapter 5. Let's go ahead and follow the imps group. So fight the Vexing Imp. Set up for encounter 2 with Vexing Imp as the master. Place it in the master's seat at the table with the side face-up that has a 1 in the level icon in the upper right corner. I've already set up the deck, and we'll set it up with 60 health. Alright. Story. You chase the imp and its followers to a narrow alley. Once you're within shouting distance, you call out, "Demon, stand and fight. We don't fear you, necro scum." The demon turns toward you, its wings fluttering. Its head bobs up and down as you hear a choking sound. You realize the demon is laughing. The Necros are fools. They do not understand our true purpose. Not like our new masters. Who are your masters, you ask? The imp's mouth opens wide. Stop them, he tells his followers. Slay them. Special rule for this scenario: whenever an imp minion is defeated, don't put it into the master's discard pile. Instead, put it into a special out-of-play area. Play begins with the player who has the master's seat to the right, which will be us. And then when the encounter ends, go to chapter 6. Okay, 1 in the upper left corner. Okay, so here's the Vexing Imp. Starting off with 60 health, we'll set his dial in a minute. First up for the preferred cards. Blue, discard a champion from your hand. Green, and that's his preferred, discard 2 cards. Red, discard an action. Yellow, put a random imp from out of play into play. So we'll set the Vexing Imp with 60 health. Once I turn the dial the right way. There we are. We are going to use a Marvel Champions dial to track the boss's health, and we've got another one for our health. And then our first starting market, first up, is Kristoff the Just with the yellow faction. 5 to buy. Exhaust him to gain 2 health, 2 combat, and 3 health. Ally ability with the yellow faction to draw a card. Guard strength of 5, meaning this has to be defeated first. Next up, Perov the Enforcer for 5 with the blue faction. Prepare to gain 3 combat. And with an ally ability with the blue faction, draw a card. Also a guard strength of 5. Next up, Profit for an action for 1 trade. You get 2 when you play it, and on the blue ally ability, get 4 combat. Next up, Orc Grunt for 3. Prepare to get 2 combat. An ally ability with the green faction, draw a card, guard strength of 3. And last up, Word of Power for 6. It's an action. Draw 2 cards. Ally ability with the yellow faction to gain 5 health. And trash it, or sacrifice it to gain 5 combat. And as it said, play begins with the player to the right of the master, so that's us. So let's jump right in. We've got a horned black arrow for 3 combat, but we don't have a bow in place, so we don't get to draw a card. And then we get 4 combat, with the next champion we acquire this turn costing 1 less. Anyway, we'll hit the boss with the black arrow for 3 to bring it down to 50, to bring the imp down to 57. Then for 4, I think we're going to grab Kristoff the Just, because the next champion we acquire costs 1 less. And then replacing that is Grax Storm Giant for 8 with the green faction. Prepare to gain 6 combat. If you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Ally ability with green, draw, then discard. Then all of that will move over to the discard pile. We'll draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there's the bow, which would have been useful. Then just to make sure I've got how the turn works straight, I'll pull up a quick reference for that. Oh, here we go. On the back of the rulebook. That'll work nicely. So we'll flip over the top card of the Master's deck, and here we'll find a Mastery card. Oh, joy. All right, so that's the first level up symbol, which also triggers its blue ability, so discard a champion from my hand. Fortunately, I don't have a champion in my hand, so nothing happens there. And then it needs 3 Masteries to level up. So that's back to our turn already. So let's go with the Hunting Bow to give me 2 combat. The Black Arrow will give me a 3rd combat and draw cards. Since I'm out, I have to shuffle. All right. And then drawing will be another gold, so that ultimately won't do anything for us. Well, it'll get us up to 5 gold at any rate. 5 gold. Well, first we'll hit the boss. We'll hit the imp for another 3 to bring it down to 54. Then, what do I want to do for 5 gold? I think it's going to be Parov the Enforcer. And then replacing that will be another Orc Grunt. We'll move all of that over. And I'll draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Got a whole bunch of good stuff coming up, but we need to see what the Master's doing this turn. Yellow is put a random imp from out of play into play, except there's nothing there. Runos Vampire with a defense strength of 4. Prepare to gain 4 health and 4 combat, which it will do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it'll hit us for 4 to bring us down to 54. Okay, that's not great, but it is back over to our turn. So we'll bring out Kristoff the Just, which will let us prepare to get us 2 combat and 3 health. So that'll bring me back up to 57. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I've got 3 gold, and the next champion I acquire this turn costs me 1 less. Well, first order of business, we're going to take out the Runos Vampire for 1, and have 1 combat left over, which we'll slap the Vexing Imp with. And then for 3 gold, with the first champion I acquire costing me 1 less, I will grab an Orc Grunt for that. And then unless this is a wild 1 cost, I'm probably going to grab the Prophet. It's Rayla Endweaver for 4. It's a red card. Prepare to gain 3 combat, and ally ability with red is to draw a champion. So we'll grab the Prophet, like I mentioned we were going to do. And there's a recruit for 2. Gain 2 trade and 3 health, plus 1 for each champion in play, and then 1 gold on an ally ability. Then we'll move all of that over to the discard pile. We'll shuffle back up. Runos Zealot can get out of my way. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking a look at my hand. Okay, I don't completely hate that. But let's see what's coming out for the Vexing Imp. Runos Ambusher. Green ability is discard 2 cards. I will dump 2 gold. All right, then Elite, put it into the Master's area. Players, champions enter expended. He will exhaust to gain. He also has a defense strength of 6. He'll gain 3. He'll gain 3 combat, but that won't be enough to get me past Kristoff the Just. So that's over to my turn. So I've got an Orc Grunt that I can't use. Prophet, which will give me 2 gold, and then a Ruby that'll give me another 2. I think here I'm going to pop my Headshot to get past that Runos Ambusher. So I can draw a card and I can stun a target champion. Nice shot. So that'll let me stun the Runos Ambusher, and I get to draw a card from that, which is another gold that'll bring me up to 5. What do I want here? So Kristoff is going to give me, so that's going to bring me up to 2 combat, which I'll slap the boss with. And that'll let me gain 3 health, so that'll bring me up to 60, since health can go above maximum limits. And then with 5 to buy with, let's go with the Orc Grunt for 3, and then a 2 cost coming up. Wolf Shaman, ooh, this is actually a 2 cost champion. Expend to gain 2 health, or 2 combat, plus 1 for each other wild card I have in play, and I will grab that. Then replacing that will be Domination for 7. Yellow card, 6 combat and 6 health, and draw a card. And then an ally ability with yellow is to prepare a champion. Then we'll exhaust all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, drawing back up. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Next card coming out is another Mastery, which triggers its preferred ability and discard, which is to discard 2 cards. I will discard a gold and a black arrow. All right, that's how we'll do that. And fortunately, I don't have... All right. Fortunately, the Runos Ambusher is now gone, so the Vexing Imp didn't really do anything on that turn. I will start off with a Hunting Bow for 2 combat. You're the prey. Honed Black Arrow for another 3. Since I have a bow in play, I get to draw a card. That's another gold. That's a gold. And then I'll play out Perov the Enforcer. So I'll prepare everything there to gain another 3 health, which will bring me up to 63. And let's see, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which I'll hit the Vexing Imp with to bring it down to 43. Then I have 1 to buy with, which is just gonna float away. Nothing I can do with that. We'll prepare everything. 1. We'll shuffle all of this up. Now I've got a wall of champions coming up, so I'm liking my chances here. 2, 3, 4. And okay, now we're probably cooking here. But let's see what we get from the hero card, from the villain deck. Escape. Uh-oh. All right, this is a white card, so he'll make us discard 2 cards. Let's see if I can do this. Yep, I can get rid of 2 gold. That'll work. All right. If the master's deck has been reshuffled this encounter, the master escapes. You lose the encounter. All right, still nothing going on, and now we're about to really turn the heat up here. All right, so we'll start off with a Wolf Shaman, which will now trigger the ally ability on the Orc Grunt, so let me draw a card, so I'll need to shuffle for that. Hold on. Right. Okay. Right, there's my card draw. That's from the ally ability on the Wolf Grunt. All right. Then I'll play out a Prophet, which will trigger ally abilities on both Perov and Prophet. So that'll let me draw another card. Okay. Then I'll expend my champions. This will be giving me a lot of combat. So that'll be 3, 5, 7, 8, 10. And another 3 health from Kristov. Actually, plus another. We're actually going to have a lot of combat. So let me total this up again. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Ally ability here is 14. The black arrow is 17. So 17 combat, which I'll hit the boss with. 17 from 43 is 26. That brings the imp down to 26. And I'll play out my 3 trade cards. And the next champion I acquire this turn costs me 1 less. That will be Rayla. Give me more combat. And then replacing that will be Taxation. 2 trade. And on ally ability, gain 6 health. Everything moves over. And then we'll draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I don't hate that. Then the next card for the boss is the Clinging Imp, which has a red card, so I have to discard an action, which will be... I don't have an action, so boo, nuts on you. When I play a red card, stun this minion. When I expend him to discard a card that costs 3 or more. Unfortunately, that is the Orc Grunt, where I was really going to start to turn the heat up, because it's the only card I have in my hand that costs 1 or more. So he will prepare, and since I don't like having my hand ripped apart, we're going to do something about that. So, the Orc Grunt's ally ability will trigger to let me draw a card. Okay, that's not altogether garbage. We'll play the Hunting Bow out, and a black arrow to let me draw a card. It's just another gold. Then I've got 4 gold. So I'll prepare everything. I'm actually just going to use this Elixir of Strength that I got from the last encounter. I'll sacrifice that for 3 combat, which I'll use that to wipe out the Clinging Imp, and that'll go... We'll make our out-of-play Imp area over here. Let's see, then preparing all of my champions, I will get... So this will be another big combat turn. 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 13 more combat, which will cut the Vexing Imp's remaining health in half down to 13. And then I've got 4 to buy with, which is going to be a Recruit for 2. And then we'll flip a new card over. Darien Warmage for 4. Yellow card, I can prepare him to gain either 3 combat or 4 health. 2 more, I think, is going to be... I'll use my track, so I can look at the top 3 cards of my library, or my deck. I can put up to 2 of them into my discard pile, and then put the rest back on top. But of course, since I need to be able to look at my deck, and I don't have a deck except for 1 card, I need to shuffle again. Okay. And 2, 3. All right, let's see what we've got here to look at. We've got, I can put up to 2 of them in my discard pile. I think we're going to put the gold back, and we'll put the other 2 on top. Okay, we already hit the boss, so everything will move over to the discard pile, and champions and all that will ready. Along with the bow and the arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should be able to win this game, barring anything catastrophic happening. Let's see what comes out of the Master's deck. A Clinging Imp. That's another one. This one's a blue. Discard a champion from my hand. Oh, that hurts. When I play a... yes, I can actually work with... I can actually kind of work with this. So I will discard the Orc Grunt, since I have to discard a champion to the blue preferred ability. Then he'll expend to make me discard a card that costs 1 or more. I'll discard a profit to that. And he doesn't get any combat, which is surprising. So he will exhaust, and then it'll be back to our turn. So the Orc Grunt will trigger first, drawing me a card. Mostly garbage, but I can probably work with it. We'll play out Rayla, Endweaver, since that is a red card. That would let me stun the Clinging Imp. Then we'll prepare everything. So I gain another 2 combat and 3 health from Kristoff the Just. Then we've got another 3 because I've got an Orc Grunt in place. So 2, 5, 7, 10, 13. And that turns out it's going to be Xaxes. I've even got a black arrow here, or honed black arrow that I don't need. 3, and the next champion I play would cost 1 less to cast, or 1 less to acquire. But once again, 3, so 2, 5, 7, 10, 13, 16. Yep, that'll be enough to defeat the Vexing Imp and bring the Imp down to 0, and we will win this game. So when the encounter ends, go to Chapter 6. End of the chase. If the master escapes, yada, 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 except the master didn't escape, so we won. We won the encounter. Read the text below, then collect rewards. Your enemies lie defeated, but the kidnapped young man is not with this group. You search the fallen followers for clues, but find nothing save a few items that may prove useful. Then you hear a groan and realize one of your enemies is still conscious. Barely. You question him and learn 3 things. First, his group was once part of the Necros cult, but splintered off to form their own sect. They call themselves the Ruinos. Second, they were headed to a nearby cobbler's shop, which conceals an entrance to a series of caverns beneath Thandar. These caverns lead to a ceremonial space where the Ruinos gather. Third, in a few hours, they intend to sacrifice the kidnapped young man to summon a demon. You have no time to lose. Rewards. Each player finds a class treasure. Each player shuffles the remaining treasure cards from their class, draws 1 card, then adds that to their personal deck, replacing a card if applicable. Place the remaining treasure cards back in the box. And each player earns a character point and may spend it to upgrade one of their skills or abilities, or to buy an additional health card. So we'll deal with the treasures first. Let's see. So that one was replaced. Let's see. The class treasure, which is one of these. Okay, yep. Looks like these are treasures. So I've got 3 of them left that I can acquire. And my camera does not want to focus for me for some reason. There we go. All right. We'll give this a quick shuffle. And a cut, and the one on top will be the treasure that we pick up. So the treasure that we pick up is a snake pet. Ranger Champion Snake. Prepare, stun target minion in your area or draw a card. In PvP, you may also target an opposing guard. Except we're not in PvP. It's only got a defense strength of 1, though, which is unfortunate. So we'll add that to our deck for the campaign moving forward, and that will do it for this playthrough of Hero Realms. We've got a busy... We might still be able to do one more stream tonight because it's only 4 o'clock, so I'm sure there'll be one more stream tonight. But I'm going to hold what that stream is going to be close to the vest, partly because I want it to be a surprise, but also partly because I haven't decided what that stream is going to be yet. So we'll sit tight on that stream. As far as what's scheduled to come up on the channel, tomorrow morning, once I pull up my spreadsheet, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Magic the Gathering Cuisines of the Multiverse cookbook, as we will be making the side ooze-infused biscuits. Tomorrow afternoon, it'll be an afternoon stream, but we'll be going back to the baseball diamond for a game of season ticket baseball to get a rep in before 1985 comes up. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, Take care, everyone.